Gosh, they are dealing with so much heat out there. We've been dealing with the heat too. I know, Kathy, it's not going to necessarily let up anytime soon.
Not in the near future, but in the extended outlook, it looks like next week, Angeline, we might see a pattern shift that will allow for cooler weather and maybe some rain.
Oh, that's nice. That's a little bit of a relief. Time to get outside, go for a hike, go for a walk kind of thing.
We just have to get to next week. It's between now and then that we'll see potentially record high temperatures again. Outside right now, we've got a partly sunny day in Fort Collins. We've got those cumulus clouds coming in off the foothills. Eventually, they'll start to grow vertically into the atmosphere and we'll be capable of producing some wind, lightning, and if we're lucky, a brief shower. Beautiful day in the Greeley area. So far 90 in Denver. That's the average high for this time of year. 91 in Pueblo, 91 so far in Lamar, 89 Grand Junction, and mid-70s for Eagle, Aspen, and Vail, and 78 in Steamboat. Right now, we do have temperatures in the low 90s. That's average. The record for today is 98. Started off this morning at 63 degrees, so that is above average, and that's a trend that will continue. We're headed for 13 days total now with 90 or better. And while this seems extreme, this time last year that number was triple at this point in the season. At the airport, we have low humidity, 90 degrees. Winds are light out of the south at 6 miles per hour. We're watching the wind. There's a big fire burning in Gunnison County, as you know, and air quality alerts are posted due to the dense wildfire smoke in that area. So we're watching the wind, the lightning, but particulates and wildfire smoke is going to make it tough on those sensitive groups today. A little moisture coming in from the southwest underneath this dominant ridge of high pressure, which is keeping the storm track to the north. Later next week, the ridge will shift east and allowing for more of that moisture to cover the state. Slow-moving storms will be capable of dropping some heavy rain middle part of next week. Today, it's just hit and miss thunderstorms, lightning detection, pretty active around Trinidad, Alamosa, Gunnison, and up toward the Craig area. Storms are moving from west to east rapidly, and as they come off the foothills between 2 and 6, some of those storms will produce a brief heavy downpour, and the potential for some small hail is there in eastern Colorado, but not so much for the Denver metro area. Very similar to what we saw yesterday as we have that marginal risk for stronger storms. So the high pressure ridge dominant begins to flatten out over the weekend and then shift early next week, allowing for more of that tropical moisture to feed in from the southwest. A front's approaching from the north, but all of that energy will stay north of us. And tomorrow we'll be looking at the threat for severe weather north and northeast of the Denver metro area, storms with wind and lightning. The temperature trend over the next 1 to 2 weeks for much of the lower 48 will be for above average readings, but we start to see a little bit of a break coming into the northern plain states and back into northern Colorado. But the advisories for excessive heat continue for Omaha, Wichita, and Memphis back through the desert southwest. Colorado not seeing advisories as of yet today, so that is a piece of good news. Futurecast, we have 1 or 2 hit and miss storms coming off the foothills around 3:30, tracking east around Kit Carson, Burlington, and Ray. Sunny day tomorrow as we move into your Friday, and then we'll see this again tomorrow afternoon. Stray storm in Castle Rock at 3 o'clock up near Estes Park north of Fort Collins. They move through Denver between 6:30 and 7. Skies will then clear out and we get lots of sunshine heading into tomorrow afternoon. So 94 today, 96 Lamar, 101 Grand Junction, and 90 in Craig. Lows tonight in the 60s for eastern Colorado, 50s up over the Continental Divide. Sunshine, a stray gusty storm late in the day. Temperatures running above average tonight. Storms will move out and clearing. And as we kind of get you through tomorrow morning, we start off in the 60s and 70s and then warm quickly back to the mid 90s. A bit drier for Sunday and Monday, and then a cooling trend as we move into the middle part of next week. How about 80s for Wednesday and Thursday with a good chance for rain? Beautiful afternoon out there. Enjoy. So much more ahead. We'll be back after the break.